Funny how newsletters are still flying under the radar for so many small businesses, even though they're not exactly the hot new thing. But honestly, they've aged better than a lot of trendier marketing tools.
Totally get that. Lately, I've noticed more businesses quietly leaning into newsletters, not because they're flashy, but because they just work. There's a certain comfort in knowing your message will land in someone's inbox, instead of getting lost in a social feed you can't control.
Exactly, and you're not at the mercy of those ever-changing algorithms. When you're sending to someone's email, there's this direct line they've basically invited you in.
And speaking of being invited, it's pretty cool that when someone subscribes, they're saying, "Hey, I actually want to hear from you." Social media can feel so fleeting in comparison.
That actually reminds me, people tend to think of newsletters as just more promos, but a good one is way more than a sales pitch. It's really about staying top of mind without being pushy.
Yeah, and I think the best part is how it gently nudges people to remember you exist. Even happy clients can forget about you after a while, unless you pop up with something useful or interesting in their inbox.
Plus, if someone found your blog once but never came back, a newsletter is like an easy, open door. You give them a reason to return, to see what's new.
I love that, and there's something about email that feels more intentional, right? Like, people scroll past ads all day, but an email is a conscious choice to open.
You know, it's not just product shops that benefit. For service-based businesses, think web designers, coaches, therapists. A newsletter can be your secret weapon for building trust.
Absolutely. Because when your business is all about relationships, you need something that shows how you work or think. Sharing behind-the-scenes nuggets or solving small problems in your emails? That's gold for building familiarity.
That's such a good point. Sometimes the stuff that doesn't fit on your website, like tiny insights or real client stories, fits perfectly in a newsletter.
Right, and over time, those little peeks behind the curtain make people feel like they know you, which means they're way more likely to reach out when they actually need help.
Last week we got stuck on what to write for a client's first newsletter. The classic, "I have nothing new to say," panic. But you don't need to reinvent the wheel every month.
Exactly. Sometimes just sharing a quick tip or a story from a recent project is enough. Even a resource you love, with a bit of context, can be super valuable. People overthink and burn out trying to be original all the time.
And there's so much content hiding in plain sight: old blog posts, FAQs, even snippets from emails you've answered a dozen times. Repurposing saves so much energy.
I couldn't agree more. The trick is to keep it simple and consistent, not perfect. Otherwise, it just becomes another thing you dread doing each month.
So, if someone's ready to start but worried about time or tech, what's the absolute minimum they should focus on?
Honestly, it comes down to a clear purpose, a simple format, and making sure people can actually find your sign-up form. No sense in crafting great emails if they're buried in your website's footer.
And sending monthly is totally enough to start. Consistency beats frequency every single time. Plus, it's way less stressful.
If it still feels overwhelming, there are folks like us at Lavender Giraffe who can take it off your plate. But whether you DIY or get help, the important thing is that your newsletter feels like a real extension of your business, not just an afterthought.